Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Merry Kwanzaa. Happy Christmas Hana Kwanzaa to everybody out there. It's the first show of December, which means it's time for Christmas! Woohoo!
Christmas. I've been getting into the Christmas spirit all day, man. I've been sending you pictures of my Christmas holiday, whatever you call it, the extravaganza that's been going on at the house today.
Oh, yes, you hung the Walking Dead stockings with care.
I did, and we put up the tree, and Christmas movies. There's a channel playing Christmas movies all day today, and had that on. Try to keep the dog from eating the tree.
Any good, bad, like Hallmark Christmas movies, where the girl falls in love with the guy, but he's already dating a girl who's not that bad. She's actually a pretty good girl, but the other girl steals him from the good girl and makes her out to be like this big bitch.
No, you know what? Those movies, there's some of those movies that I find absolutely hysterical because they're really out of touch. But there's no way in hell my wife's going to watch that shit.
Meanwhile,
I would watch that and just laugh. Like, this is the most ridiculous shit.
Meanwhile, my wife, her entire watch list on Netflix are nothing but those bad Christmas movies. And she's like, shut up, I watch them when you go to bed. I'm like, good, because I don't watch them. I watch the classics. I watch, Christmas Carol, Garfield Christmas, where they go to the farm.
There's a few Christmas movies that I dig that are
Mom, Dad, Grandma, Doc Boy. Don't call me Doc Boy. That's one of my favorites. I love Garfield Christmas. I love Christmas.
Do you like the Charlie Brown one, or do you hate it?
You know what? Charlie Brown, it's one of those where I watch it once.
That's a polarizing cartoon.
It is.
Some people love it, and some people fucking hate it.
You know what? It's such a classic, though. I gotta watch it once. A Christmas Story.
It's real. I remember watching it every year as a kid, so it kind of embodies Christmas to me a little bit.
It does. Like I said, I'll watch it once in December. I won't watch it every day. It's kind of like I used to love A Christmas Story. I still do. I mean, it's got Darren McGavin in it. How can you not love anything with Darren McGavin?
Yeah.
It's culture.
Yeah, he's great, man. He is great in everything. Seriously. Not even kidding around.
He's great in everything. But once TNT started playing 24 hours of the movie, I was it burned me out a little bit. So I'll still watch it once. The ones I can watch over and over again, and I never get tired of them. George C. Scott's A Christmas Carol. I watch that all the time. That's one of my all-time. It's got George C. Scott. It's got Roger Rees. It's got David Warner. Just an all-star cast. Donald Pleasance's daughter, I think, is in that. Just a great, and that one sticks very, very close to the novel. Most people, they have Scrooge in just a long white nightgown and the sleeping hat. This one, he's actually in what Charles Dickens kind of said was the clothes of the time. He had his bedroom coat, he had pants on, he had
There's a movie coming out about that. What's that? It's called The Man That Invented Christmas or something. It's about
I want to see that
Dickens writing that story.
And then of course we both are going to go see the new great Christmas movie tradition, because he made this movie for you, Greg. He made it for you. We're going to go see The Disaster Artist. We got to see that.
Yeah.
Every year I'll watch Garfield.
I'm hearing it's great.
I'm hearing it's fantastic.
I hear Disaster Artist is great, by the way. And I've heard rumors of possible awards for it, but I don't know. We'll see.
I've got to watch Garfield Christmas every year, because I just love Garfield Christmas. It's only 24 minutes long, 20 minutes long. But
yeah, it's not long.
It's not long.
It was just one of those half-hour deals there, 40 or hour with commercials packed in deals.
But I love that. Muppets Christmas Carol is always good, and then the Muppets one where they all go to Fozzie's mom's house for Christmas, and the Swedish Chef tries to cook Big Bird.
I don't know if I remember that.
Oh, they all end up going to Fozzie's mom. Everybody, them, the Sesame Street gang. There's a part with the Fraggles. They're all there. Doc and Sprocket are there, and the Swedish Chef has a turkey, and he wants to kill the turkey for the dinner, and the turkey ends up coaxing the Swedish Chef into trying to cook Big Bird. So he's got Big Bird in the kitchen, and Big Bird's like, "Oh, this is great! Oh, you got the cranberry sauce," and Swedish Chef's like, "You put the bird in the oven." He's like, "You put the bird in the oven? You got the bird in the oven. You get in the oven." So he's trying to get Big Bird in the oven to cook Big Bird for Christmas dinner.
I love the Swedish Chef. He's ridiculous, but my favorite's the Boomerang Fish Tower of all time.
I think he's
my favorite
he shows
Muppet.
up too. He shows up at some point. Like they all show up. All of them show up. It's fantastic. So I love that one. I like you said, I can't get into those ones like, you know, Dear Santa or Santa Baby or you know, those weird ones, you know. I did watch the Adventures of Tip and O Christmas, because I told you I am in love with the movie O, our Home. I love that movie. It is so fun. I love the character of O, and they have a cartoon series on Netflix, and I just love it's one of those new cartoons that I will watch and laugh. Where
I totally forgot they did. I forgot they made I didn't think the movie did well enough in the box office to make a series, but I guess they did. Huh?
It's a very smart series. I thought the movie was great. You know, I own the movie because I have to, because I love it.
I haven't seen it. I think it's on cable. I might be able to see it.
It's really, really good. The alien is voiced by Jim Parsons. You know, Sheldon Cooper, and I think it's fantastic. These aliens are running from this other alien that they say is trying to kill them. So they come to Earth to hide. Their species is called the Boob. They say the Boob is the best species at running away. So they come to Earth and they snatch up all the humans and relocate them to Australia, and they start calling Australia Happy Humans Land. And then the Boob populate the rest of the world, and they think that they're doing the humans a favor and all this other stuff, and it's really fun. It's really fun. So I watched that. And
I had forgotten that movie had even come out, and I remember you said you saw it, and I was like, "What are you talking about? I don't even know what movie you're talking about." And then I was like, "Oh yeah." And after you told me, you explained what it was, and I was like, "Oh, I remember seeing the commercials for it."
It's so much fun. And then of course, after you're done with your Christmas stuff, since we didn't say it last week on the show, you've got anime to watch, because we did get the final results of the poll for Chief's going to watch anime.
Yeah. The one that they picked, Spin kind of gave me the rundown on what it is, and it sounds like something that I would think would be really funny.
So
like the premise sounds really funny to me.
It is pretty fun. So out of 4 picks, we had put up 4. I had put up 4 picks. So it was either you had Rosario Vampire, you had The Devil's a Part-Timer, Dot Hack Roots, and then you had Onagai Teacher. And The Devil's a Part-Timer won. So Chief is going to be watching Devil's a Part-Timer, and then he'll do a video on it, and we'll post that up on our YouTube page. And also, if you go to YouTube, since it's Wednesday, if you're listening to this, we have a new commentary track out, Robo Wars with Red Brown.
Yeah, and so that was a late night find that actually pushed Stallone again, I think. And we kind of, I don't know how many times we pushed Stallone, but this is the second time I think that I've found. The Psychotronic Man was the first one.
Yep.
And this is the second one that I found overnight after we had just done a podcast. I had went to go watch TV with my wife, and this was another one that I just found on Amazon that thought, oh fuck, we got to do this.
Yeah.
This is too good.
And so that's out there, but what we're doing tonight is one of our favorite things of all time. We love doing this every Christmas. We usually do it closer to Christmas, but we have something a little special in store that we'll be telling you all at the end of the show. So please stay tuned. We have something special for all of you. Please stay tuned to the end of the show to hear that announcement. Maud, I know you'll listen. I know you're going to wait. But today we're going to talk. We're going to make our Christmas list. Chief and I are going to make our Christmas list right here on the show, and we are going to make Christmas lists based off of the holiday wish books. If you've ever listened to a holiday wish book special, this is a show that puts a smile on Chief and I's face. We're sitting here smiling. I'm watching Chief on camera. He's smiling. I'm smiling because we get to go through holiday wish books from Sears, JCPenney, Spiegel. And we go back in time. We take a look at the toys and the stuff that are in these wish books from years past. Last year we started at 1942, something like that.
Yeah, we started early because it was I don't think we thought we would do this more than the first time. I thought the first time was going to be so we kind of jumped all over the place. And so we started early because there was a lot of really cool shit you could buy for like pennies back in those days. Like real steel pedal cars for like $2. Shit like
it was
that.
like nothing. So we're gonna be taking a look at some of these. If you would like to follow along, you can go to WIshbookWeb.com. If you go to WIshbookWeb.com, you'll be able to follow along with us, and you will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Remember those? Anybody growing up in the 70s and 80s remember those books, man. Or you will know that it's time to turn the page when you hear R2-D2 beep like this.
Exactly.
So we're actually going to start in 1968. You know, free love was everywhere, Chief, around this time.
Yeah.
You know, 1968, sci-fi started becoming really big in 1968, and in the late 60s.
Good music came out.
A lot of great music came out, and we are starting on the 1968 Sears Wishbook. And Chief, I am on page 26 of this book, and guess what is on here?
What is it?
Cotton flannelette Star Trek pajamas.
What page is it?
This is on page 26. It's sleepwear. I see it. Here we go. Official Star Trek ski pajama with Star Trek applique, deep blue rib knit mock turtleneck collar, cuffs, and ankles on pants. Pants have an elastic waist, which is good for us kids. You know, we need the elastic. Machine washable. It comes in sizes 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6+. And guess how much it is? $2.99. $3 for a pair of official Star Trek pajamas. Official Star Trek pajamas. You can also buy a tiger, a clown, little angel Chile.
What's funny to me is there's a picture on the ad down the bottom left corner of this page. That's a picture of the Star Trek cotton flannelette Star Trek pajama, but there's a picture of 2 rocket ships that look nothing like anything on Star Trek.
Yes. There's also sleepwear of the devil.
Yeah, that's weird. Really, I think that's odd for that. I guess I don't know. The Satanic Panic didn't come along until like the 80s, I guess people.
And it's right underneath a very freaky clown.
Yeah, devil, little angel, Chile. Yeah, that looks like the Michael Myers clown suit from when he murders his sister in the original movie. He's even got his hand up in the stabbing motion like he's holding a knife. You could Photoshop a knife in his hand really easily right there. Just
so easily. I love flipping through these. Like, if you flip a couple pages, like to page 30, 31, there's a picture of a young kid. Now, this kid's got to be maybe 6 years old, maybe 7. But he's got on a house coat and house slippers. And he's got this look on his face like all you need is like a pipe in his hand.
Like he was just day trading all day. He's ready for bed.
Like, I'm gonna go into my reading room and I'm gonna have me a nice cognac and a smoke of my pipe.
I just made a mountain of money.
Oh, those poor men. Oh, I feel bad for how the other people live. And the little kid in the football jersey next to him's like, golly gee, I wish I was a stockbroker. I wish I had money.
He looks like he's already got like 3 kids and a mortgage.
I like the one next in the little pictures, number 10. The kid's got his hand in his pocket, like, yeah.
He's should have a pipe.
Yeah. The kids are in bed, darling. Would you like to listen to the telephone to the television?
Man.
Now you go scroll a couple other pages. There's a fine looking girl on a lounger in a big cotton robe, and now this robe is a little expensive. This robe is
fur.
Yes, and this is the floor-length wrap robe of magnificent Emba. It's jasmine mink. and it is $4,500.
1968, $4,500.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of money, and that's right next to the stuffed animals.
Holy shit, this is stuff you can get. Let's see, what do we got next? Oh, so wonderful to wish for, so wonderful to wish for, so wonderful to get.
Boys' robes.
Scene brighteners. These are called scene brighteners.
Yeah.
You brighten your scene with this.
I love this. Like all these kids in 1968. Daddy, I want a robe. I want to wear a robe to bed. I want it to be dapper and plaid. Yeah. Very.
Realistically hand-painted German Shepherd is just waiting to be a young master's best friend.
Oh, if you go to page 46, they've got the Captain Kirk line of clothes.
Oh, sweet.
It's not really Captain Kirk, but it looks like Captain Kirk. And there's a Dennis the Menace comic in here.
Really?
Yeah, they got a Dennis the Menace comic on page 46. This is why Wish books were fantastic. You not only get all these great gift ideas, you get a Dennis the Menace comic book.
It looks like something Captain Kirk could wear.
I told you, it's like gold and it's got the little trim on it. It
yeah,
really
he's
does
got
look
the
like
collar, like the Nehru jacket collar.
It looks like something. He's got the green Orion girl in his room, and he's coming out. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Captain James T. Kirk."
I'm about to boldly go
where no man has gone before. Dennis the Menace walks in. I guess Dennis the Menace was asleep in bed. He walks in. His parents are in the kitchen. His dad's eating a turkey leg. And he goes, "How do you expect me to sleep when my stomach can hear the refrigerator door?"
What a knee slapper that is.
Oh, Dennis, you little menace. Hey, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, look at the smoking jacket on the acetate satin lounge jacket.
Oh, that is dapper. I would wear that. We should wear that when we do like movie commentary, Chief. And is that an ascot?
Was that a common thing that people that was that ever a thing that like just douchey assholes like did or what? I don't know that anybody ever that did that was really that cool. I mean, that's.
I don't know. What I love is he's got an he's not only got the smoking jacket, he's wearing an ascot. His hand is in his pocket, and in the other hand is a book. And he's like, so I was just reading this first edition Moby Dick. It was,
leather bound.
Yes. I got this from the auction house. Yes.
Cost me $5 million.
But most people can't afford it, but I can.
I'll just throw it in the fire when I'm done reading it.
oh, Loveykins, I need another cognac. Lovey.
Okay, let's see. What do we got next? Oh, man-sized comfort is on the next page.
Oh, yeah, the man-sized.
So I'm guessing that was like child-sized comfort before this page.
Oh, and you can get it monogrammed with your initials on the pocket. You can get it monogrammed.
Oh, hell yeah.
Darn right.
Max Power.
Oh, Chief, look at his pants. Look, all these kids out there today wearing the pants with like the cuffs at the bottom, it was in 1968 because he's wearing a pair of them shits.
Yeah.
You ain't cool freaking 2017 kids. They were doing that in 68.
Yeah.
We got the female clothing up next, the day clothes,
Down through the years, people have
called
Sears Catalog the WIshbook.
Fashion has really changed over the years. I mean, you look at this. I mean, there's bouffant hairdos. There's like winged hair, little swooping action. You got the motherly look. You got the Jackie Kennedy Onassis look.
This is like something that it's like all this stuff comes back around.
Oh man,
you see some of this stuff now.
I know. If we see, I mean, seriously, some of this stuff is just like, and I really, it's like, will we ever see these 60s styles come back? Like, in full force. Like, somebody's going to look and say, God, I love the way they looked in the 60s. Freaking wool everything. All wool.
Very wool. Oh man, that's some pretty crazy pants. It's like a whole like jumpsuit thing.
You ladies and gentlemen, because I'm not discriminating, if you want your own portable hair dryer, you can get it through the Sears catalog.
Yeah.
The remote control portables are packed with real drying power. You can dry your hair. It's a portable hair dryer like at the salon, and you can get one for $38.95, $23.95, or $29.95. Why go to the salon? You can just buy your hair dryer here. Although I thought it was a desk lamp the first time I saw it, and then I had to read, because it does kind of look like a desk lamp.
Oh, that's a bright yellow outfit on page 77. Let's skip ahead to page 8.
We're skipping around these books. We're looking.
89.
You gotta go through, oh, here's the stuff they have like. So there are like these stretch boots. They're called stretch boots. Now, honestly, looking at this and the picture of it on page 100, this actually looks like something like someone who would be like cosplaying Phoenix would wear, because it's like gold.
Yeah.
But it looks like.
I think it got the green leg of the top, so it looks like Phoenix.
Looks like Phoenix. So, but it's kind of like, it looks like they're wearing a loafer, but it's also a boot that stretches all the way up to your calf. And see, all these people with riding boots these days, they were doing it in '68 as well. There's a whole page of these like riding boots for only $9.77. $9.77. All of you people buying them for like $40, $50 nowadays, you just go back in time and you can buy them for pennies on the dollar.
102.
A lot of shoes. Oh, here we go. On page 109, you can buy for $1,600, cheap, only $1,600. You can buy your own set of armor.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This suit of armor of Toledo steel is copied from the period of Charles V.
Comes with a sword. It's got the sword there. I mean, the helmet.
Yeah, does it come with the sword? Let me make sure of that.
Make sure it comes. We cannot buy the armor if it does not have the sword. You need the sword.
It says as shown, so I'm assuming that means
that sword was made.
Oh yeah, okay. With flat blade sword over 3 feet long, that is an exact and rare copy of the ones used 600 years ago.
It's made from the shards of Narsil.
It's $1,600, and remember this is 1968, $1,600. So
okay,
that's expensive shit back in the day.
Okay, go to page 113 and explain something to me. You'll see, look at the picture and explain something to me. Okay, go to 113. And she types it in. Go to page 113. Why is the dude holding a duck?
Is it a decoy? Is it a real duck? It's kind of hard to tell, actually.
They're advertising sweaters, and the guy's looking at the other dude like, yeah, you see my duck? Huh?
What do you think of this duck?
What do you think of this duck, huh?
I'm gonna shove this duck straight up your ass.
Hey, you know what we could do with this duck tonight? Yeah.
Anything. Or what do you say we eat this thing raw right now? Just tear it in half.
And the guys on page 112 are like, "Hey man, the old boy on the next page has got a duck." He's like on the phone. "Hey, you gotta see this duck."
Hey, yeah, you gotta see these motherfuckers over here at this duck.
My God. I heard, them Robertson boys with that duck in his hand, that they ain't never going to go nowhere. I bet you they just going to become kind of preachy people.
Hey, those guys don't have a duck.
They're they're phoning in, and they're like, we want a duck.
If we can make a story out of this catalog, they say, hey, this guy's got a duck. Better call Johnny.
Page 117, number 7, you can buy your own burglar ski mask.
What is this weird? Go to 114 and look at the picture.
The daughter, like
yeah, mind meld.
She's mind melding.
Your thoughts are my thoughts.
Share your mind with me, Father.
Oh yeah, I hope people follow along because they want to know what we're talking about. This is a fun website though. There's like every catalog you can think of on here.
Everything. We're flipping through here. This book is 600 pages. That should tell you how big these books were. These were 600 pages of just gift ideas. I mean, huge. Everything you think of. There's gloves. There's portable home stuff. Cameras. There's cameras in here. I mean, like old school fucking cameras. There's a guy on page 136 that looks like Harry Carey. Hey, Chief, hey, if you were a hot dog and you were starving, would you eat yourself? I would.
Did you see the alpaca sweaters on 115?
Yes.
There's some smooth customers there.
There's some smooth customers. There's a guy on page 140 or 139 that looks like a young Richard Dawson.
Oh, it's page 200 is fun watches for girls and boys.
Fun watches. What do we got on these watches, Chief?
Let's see.
What are there? Do we have like a Mickey Mouse watch?
Let's see. They got they got a Superman.
Ooh. How much for a Superman watch in 1968?
Let me see. It's
How much to have the Man of Steel tell me what time?
Wonder Woman. I'm trying to see this one that's like really hard to see. Oh, it's Barbie. There's Barbie.
Oh.
So Superman watch. The animated Superman watch. $8.99.
That ain't bad. Even nowadays, a kid's watch is like $10-15.
Oh, what is Barbie Flower Power pendant? Animated beating heart. Something with spaces for. I have to enlarge this a bit. Here, oh, it's a dog. There's a Space Explorer watch. they're all $8.99, but then they have the Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, that's the one I want. You know me, Alice. How,
yeah, page 200. They have this is the Mickey Mouse.
Let's see, how much am I paying for my Alice in Wonderland watch?
$7.95.
Oh, that ain't bad. It includes it's got Alice and a blue leather strap. And actually, what are the... Hold on. For doll collectors, gift box, naturally advertised Ingersoll watches with colorful 5-inch ceramic statuettes. You know what? I think I actually have that Alice statue in my collection. I think I have that statue. I don't have the watch, but I think I have the statue. I think I got it off I gotta find the watch. Shoot, I gotta find my I had a Scrooge McDuck watch in the 80s. I need to replace that shit. I replaced it once, and a dog I used to have chewed it.
I had a Spider-Man one when I was a kid, like an old, like shitty plastic Spider-Man watch, but nonetheless, it would probably be collectible today if I still had it.
What do we really want a watch that can tell us how many miles we walked? No, we want Scrooge McDuck and Spider-Man telling us that it's like noon.
All the time.
All the time. I don't give a shit. I just want them to tell me what time it is anywhere I go.
Oh, we got some of the more high-end watches here. They got one for $10.99, chronograph type. I'm trying to find the high-end shit.
We got little kids' clothing and they got like little kids' clothes on page 233, but they look like it looks like they're going to the yacht club, Chief. Yes, we're gonna go to the country club today, and Daddy's gonna play 18 holes with the boss man. Yes. Everybody was more refined in 1968. Everybody was so upper crust. There was just like there's a whole page on tights, on stretch tights, like people are going gaga for today.
Ranch tones. I like the ranch tones stuff.
Oh, page 243.
Cowboy suits.
Rootin' tootin'. Oh, I'm right there with you. The rootin' tootin' roundup. The boys are that one kid on number 2. He's got the black hat on. He's looking at the other ones like, really?
Yeah, he's like, give it a shot, big boy. That's what he's.
Really? This is mine. See this girl right here in the white with the sunflowers? That's my girl.
I don't think so, partner.
I'll meet you. You know what? After I finish this milk, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna settle this like
Look,
men.
look, look. Who's got the white fringe on the pants?
And look, you see the stars on my shoulders? Look at the stars, okay? I am a star. You ain't
Hey,
nothing but a
white
horse's
fringe
ass.
beats stars any day.
Look at my pants. I got embroidery on my pants, okay? You may have the fringe, but I got pants embroidery. And
Two mighty stallions on the front of my
look,
shirt.
you can't
Say,
even
I
wear
will
your
kick
boots
your
right.
ass.
You can't even wear your boots right. I tuck my pants
This is
in
how
my
we wear them
boots.
in Oklahoma. This is how we wear them.
Oklahoma? We ain't from Oklahoma. You don't know nothing. We down here in New Mexico. And the girls are just like, boys, stop fighting.
Okay, what's next? Oh!
Actually, the one in the blue should be like, well, I got fringe and embroidery, so fuck you all.
The military look jumpsuit they have on page 244, along with the culturally insensitive Native American outfits.
What's really bad, now this is culturally insensitive, because look at the boy in number 8 is like pushing the girl number 9 in front of them, and they got this look on their face like they're screaming at each other. And then look, number 11 is Mike TV from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
It looks like him.
It's Mike TV.
I just love the two kids down here that look like they just got done fixing like a Boeing helicopter.
It's like, you know what?
Looks like I did a good overhaul on that chopper's engine.
Yeah, you know what that chopper got the need for? It's got the need for speed. That's right, Goose.
Especially the blue, the kid in the blue.
Yeah.
He's like, yep, job well done.
Yeah, we just sat here. We got stars on our shirts. We're generals. We just stood around and supervised, but we're gonna take all the credit.
Oh man, what was cool back then is mind blowing. Look, like on the next page is like regular like sweat clothes like people would wear today almost.
Yeah, it's like and that one kid with the baseball bat's like, they told me to hold a baseball bat, and I'm all happy.
This is all like little kid.
Yeah, like Velveteen kid stuff. There's
Winnie the Pooh stuff.
Oh yeah, a lot of Winnie the Pooh stuff. Oh, here we go.
Pages of it.
Here we go. Now we're getting into like the teenage girl tween look.
Boot roundup. Nostalgic frillery.
Frillery. Then we got favorite Think Pink. Favorite Santas Think Pink. Gotta have them pinks.
I guess.
All right, let's see here. Oh, my pages are flipping. My pages be flipping. Candy colorware. There's a lot of different colors. Pinks and baby blues.
Oh, yeah. The yacht club looking. 261.
Yeah, the yacht club kids. Yes, look at this balloon. This balloon cost me $50.
Let's go find some poor children and rub it in the face.
That girl's got a pin in her hand in the background. She's like, I'm going to pop this balloon in these boys' face.
$50 is nothing.
Oh, the next one's even better because they're like snapping their fingers on page 262. Like,
all right.
Yeah, all right. You love this new music? This is just swell.
This barbershop quartet really swings.
Oh, yeah. Those hippies didn't know what good music was.
Think Perry Como any day.
Rally back jeans, Chief, on page 265. Rally back.
Oh, I like the Go CPO. Cast off in heavy jackets with authentic look.
Oh, yeah. It's the Hodley Boys in the mystery of the Cursed Lighthouse.
Letter jackets. Oh, the rally back jeans, yeah, there. Those are jeans?
It's the Hodley Boys and Nancy Drew.
The swinging good time, fellas.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Guy in the yellow. Looks like somebody just insulted. Like he's like, what'd you say? Excuse, did you say something?
Oh, we got more fringe leather on page 275. We got the suede leather ranch jacket. And I'm sorry, I know the kids are young, but it just says to me, I wish I could quit you. I wish I knew how to quit you. We going to broke back. That's a lot of fringe. If you ain't wearing fringe, you ain't cool, man. You gotta be cool with the fringe.
Let's see. There's, here's it's suede leather ranch jacket. That picture looks pretty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, on the next page is the index. Complete index for a wonderful gift selection, and it's all narrated to you by Dennis the Menace. You can shop by mail, by phone, or in person, but you need to order early for a complete selection because they may.
All right, now wait a minute. How old is Dennis the Menace supposed to be in the comic?
What? He's a young kid. He's probably like 8 or 9, maybe.
You think he's that old and he can't read?
Okay, he's probably like 5 or 6, maybe even younger.
If I could read, I'd use the special toy index. I hope he's not 8. Otherwise, Mr. Mitchell's got some explaining to do.
Hey, you can shop by phone.
Why can't your kid read?
You can shop by phone, okay? Sears Catalog sales offices are in Arkansas, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas continued, Missouri continued, Nebraska, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Wyoming. And there's some offices in Cleveland.
Oh, it said special toy index page on 277.
There is, even in this catalog, people, there is your order form. And you can order on an easy payment or modernizing credit plan. So you can have an easy payment plan for all these great things. Like a Spin-It-style player piano with 6 music rolls, only $1,295. And I know all of you like to drink drinks. You all like drinks, right? But what happens when you go to get your drink? It's warm. It's hot. You need something to make your drink cold. But how do we do that? Well, on page 288, you can get the Never Run Out of Ice Selecto Cube ice makers. That's right. You can get a machine that makes ice. Only $214.95. It's for your leisure living. You can have cold drinks. Chief, aren't you tired of your drinks always being room temperature?
There's nothing I hate more in the world.
I mean, you're Kool-Aid. You don't want room temperature Kool-Aid.
No, I would throw that shit out if it was warm like that.
Well, you could get the Selecto Cube ice maker.
What? I'm trying to find the special toy index that Dennis the Menace is talking about. That's on page 277, but it doesn't appear to be on page 277 that I can see. So on page the Selecto Cube.
Well, on page 298, Chief, you could get 77 of today's greatest hits on an LP record.
On one?
You can get.
Oh.
So, by the biggest
free
name,
and easy.
One great 7 LP stereo record set, Chief. You will get the following. Here's a record album that brings together everything from show tunes to ballads, Chief. Personally selected by Ray Conniff, Andre Previn, Buddy Hackett, Andre Kostelentz, Percy Faith, and Norman Luboff as
it's
favorite.
Bobby Hackett. It's not even Buddy Hackett.
Did I say Buddy Hackett? It's Bobby Hackett.
Not even Buddy Hackett.
But Ray Conniff and his orchestra and chorus singing great hits like Georgie Girl and Mac the Knife. Listen to Bobby Hackett and his trumpet playing I Left My Heart in San Francisco and Stranger in Paradise. And thrill to Andre Previn's Sophisticated Lady. Oh, yeah. And there's a
sounds like a bargain like that much then. Not
only
really.
7 LP records, Chief, for only $16.95. That is the price of one CD most of the time. About $15 for a CD, maybe. Especially something new.
77 of today's greatest hits.
77. A CD, you're only going to get maybe 10 to 13 songs. This is going to give you 77 on 7 LP stereo.
Like a box. It's a box set, like the old days.
It's a box set.
Box set of tapes or whatever.
Yes, you can get it. It's nice.
Or you can get this and or the 56 holiday favorites for $10.95.
And who doesn't
Oh,
want...
you got Andy Williams. It's the Andy Williams Christmas theme.
Andy Williams! I didn't think he was going to play Moon River, but then, bam, second encore.
Frankie Lane, Doris Day, Patty Page, Mitch Miller and the Gang, Johnny Cash. Let's see, Eileen Farrell.
Now, Chief, you love watching TV, don't you?
It's my lifeblood.
You love watching TV. How would you like to have a full color TV, Chief, for only $629.95?
That sounds good to me.
You could get.
I like that you can buy this drum set for $99.
Now, Chief, you could get the following, okay? Now, TVs today, what do you get? You get black, and that's it. You get a black box TV, and it's flat. It's got no character. It's got no personality to it. But you could get this huge 295 square inch screen. It's 64% larger than any 18-inch portable and powered with 25,000 volts, okay? 23-inch diagonal screen, Chief. It's a 23-inch screen. That is huge, okay? 23 inches.
For that time, yeah.
And you can get it in a maple veneer, an elm veneer, or a walnut veneer. The colonial, the Mediterranean, or the contemporary. And they're all the same price. Every one of them is the same price, whether you want the colonial, the Mediterranean, or the contemporary. It's your choice of what type of wood veneer you want wrapped around your screen.
I don't know. It's a tough choice. I'm looking at the musical instruments section here on page 300 and 301.
Mm-hmm.
And man, they used to sell some electric guitars back in the day. Doesn't say what kind they are, though. That's what I was looking for.
Looking to see if maybe it says Fender or something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking for like the brand on it. But I don't see any. It looks like it says like on the... Let's see if I can zoom in on it with the little zoom tool.
I love how like all the clothes and stuff are bright, full color pictures, but once you get to like power tools, they go black and white. Nope, you don't need to see what these tools look like in color.
Nobody cares what color these are.
You don't give a shit.
You're gonna saw through a tree with it anyway.
Darn right.
I like the little Ricky drum on page 301.
There are Christmas things. You can buy trees. You can buy wreaths. You can buy a big fat Santa for your front door. Ornaments. So many ornaments. Cookies. Popcorn. Way in a manger. You can buy a manger scene. You could, Chief, page 353. There's a whole section for your dogs.
Excellent.
Only at Sears, the new pet bed with a combination blanket canopy actually covers your pet as he crawls inside. The Snoozy Doozy for only $10, Chief.
Did you see the $375 for the 18-inch?
Yeah, so who wants an 18-inch when you can get a 23-inch? I mean, go big or go home.
Yeah, I agree.
Go big or go home. Get that 23-inch.
Wow, amazing.
You know, you always want more inches, am I right? Yeah, okay.
And they seemed a lot bigger before flat screens came along. You could get like a 70-inch.
Oh man,
on
page 370, there actually is the Hardy Boys in the Tower Treasure. They actually have the Hardy Boys.
I'm getting a clue.
Oh, I'm getting a raging clue.
So was it 370? What?
Like 371, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm flipping through. I'm looking for toys. That's what we want. We want the toys.
Yeah, like 418, I think, is the one where the toys start. Some ice skates, I think, and then and some camping stuff. Yeah, there's some ice skates on 419. And then 420 is ice skates still. Then we get some tents.
Ice
You get a
skates,
tent
ice
for
skates.
$50.
People loved ice skating. People loved ice skating.
Tents were pretty expensive back then. $195 for that tent.
For a tent. Oh, here we go.
Christmas gift
6 foot by 8 foot long playhouse designed to look like a real log cabin. Only $550, Chief. This is like a little kid's home. You could say, kids, go out and live in that home.
Go live in that cabin.
They could live in that cabin.
Here's a Sears Super Gym for $92.50, and it's got the walk across the steel slat catwalk and slide down the 12-foot slide, the longest slide Sears offers.
That thing, I'm telling you, we would have so much fun on that as a kid. We would, and no girls allowed. No girls allowed. This is the He-Man Woman Hater Club.
Oh, I got more $54.95 for this, the double girder, extra sturdy.
We can't be writing girls' love notes.
Were these things ever sturdy? I've never, ever seen anybody get one of these put in the ground right.
No, exactly. So I had like a swing set like that when I was a kid, and every time you would swing on the thing, it's like one of the legs would keep popping out of the ground.
Bong.
You know, you're just waiting for that thing to fall over. You're just like, ah.
Constantly worried. Like, I don't want to play with this thing. It's going to break.
We start getting into the toys now, and I'm telling you, they've got, so we're starting, it looks like we got a lot of like little kid toys here to start off with.
Yeah, these things usually always start out with the baby toys at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh,
and then it works its way into the other stuff.
Color cartoon movies are projected on the back of a screen for like watching real color TV. You can watch Popeye.
Oh, dude, $4.29.
If that's that scary Bugs Bunny. Oh shit! It's scary. It's ventriloquist dummies. Fuck no. And look,
there's a Bozo one.
And look, Dennis the Menace hand puppets. You can get Dennis the Menace hand puppets.
Oh, awesome. 99 cents each.
Only.
Mr. Wilson.
Hey, Mr. Wilson. So we got a lot of these. There's like Disney toys, little kid toys.
I like that Popeye one. That one's pretty cool. 12-inch tall with spinach can.
Ooh, the Gumby Mobile on page 438. We got the Gumby Mobile. You can have Gumby drive Pokey around.
I think it's a wild-ass... The Space Bug. What is that?
I don't know, but on page 440, Chief, that's where we start. We got Legos, and then we got the awesome Dino Lumber into battle. It's a remote-controlled dinosaur. Yeah!
See, this is where I was thinking, this is what I was saying. I don't know if I said it when we were recording, but this to me, this 68 looked to me like out of all the wish books that were listed, this looked to me like the beginning of where the modern toy industry started to take over from like your old like old traditional style toys, and like say your outside type toys or like rocking horses or whatever the fuck. And dolls and things like that, and baseballs and sporting equipment was big. Like, this is when toys were like getting like seemed to like specialized and like imaginative. Like, this is where like imagination and like the modern era of toys started to come into play. Yeah. So I thought this was a good year.
Well, page 443, there is the big for $7.99. You could get Lassie. You could get the Collie Lassie. And then on the next page, you have Go-Go the Burro, a burro you can ride on.
Oh, yeah.
I am Sancho Panda.
It's only $8.79. Look at the prices. There's these Mickey Mouse and Donald at the top.
You can buy for $4.77, and it's sold only at Sears. You can get the Dennis the Menace Jackhammer.
Oh, man, this burro thing's pretty cool. The
I told you, we need that. The Go-Go Burro.
Wonder. Dennis the Menace Jack. Like Dennis the Menace.
I had one of those.
Did he ever do a jackhammer?
No, I had one of those Wonder horses. Those horses that were like on the springs that you could like bounce up and down on. I had one of those as a kid, and I remember in my backyard there was a section of the backyard that had the trees on it. It was dark, and my mom put that horse out there. So if I ever wanted to ride the horse, I had to go in like underneath like the dark trees. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not gonna go ride that horse underneath them fucking trees. Fuck that shit. $4.77, you can get Dennis the Menace jackhammer. Just what every kid needs for his Christmas day is a jackhammer.
Exactly. And didn't we discuss earlier how old Dennis the Menace is? Like, we were thinking maybe like 5.
Yeah, something like that. Hey,
so like 4 or 5 years old, and he's out to cranking a jackhammer.
Sounds real, and it vibrates when pushed down. Hey-oh. Sold only at Sears. If you go to page 448, Chief, they got those boxes, like the box train and the box Asimo robot. I am Asimo.
Oh yeah. Super box. Now that's awesome. I would have definitely wanted the robot. 3 of those. But then they have the jumbo stone building sets. I think my sister may have had those building block, like stone building set things.
Weak. I am Asimo. Weak. Super weak.
You weak.
You weak. Bitches, you weak.
Fuck you, Craig.
Fuck Craig. He weak.
And then you have like the Rebel Alliance big busy builder.
Yeah.
Star Wars symbols on it. I don't know. From '68 though. I doubt it. Okay, what do we got next? Ooh, the Lego. That's some pretty advanced Lego for '68.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it kind of shows that and this one, these are those Lego. There's Legos that you can. They got the little remote control in them, so you could actually drive the.
Have
Lego.
they always been the same? Have they always been that same standard size? Like, could you use '68 Legos with modern day Legos and they would be exactly the same?
I'm pretty sure you could. I mean, it's not like you're mixing like Legos and Duplo blocks or whatever.
I would think they'd be like a standard. Like Lego has a standard size.
Yeah. On page 5.
Ooh, get into mechanical toys.
Oh, mechanical toys are fun.
That's on 451, I think. Here, mechanical toys. You got some trains. The 3-piece. What does that say? The
Flippy diving set.
The 3-piece Flippy diving set. Flippy. It's Flippy.
Oh.
You get. It's not Flipper because that would be copyright infringement.
Exactly.
It's Flippy. Flippy the dolphin.
On page 459, kids, you could have. Who needs an iPhone to watch Netflix or Hulu when you could have your own 88mm battery run projector for $13.99?
Oh yeah.
$13.99. You get this projector, and plus you get 5 films. You get highlights of the Super Bowl of 1968. You get.
We know a Super Bowl doesn't specify which one.
Yeah, a Super Bowl.
Or how many? Which ones?
You get Popeye. You get Our Gang. You know, the He-Man Woman Haters Club, Chief. That's
right.
We can't thank girls love notes.
Except Darla.
Oh, Darla.
Darla's allowed.
Charlie Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy. You can get more like Betty Boop. You can get more Laurel and Hardy, more Popeye, Beetle Bailey.
John Wayne in Lucky, Texas.
That's right. You get some. Who needs Netflix? You can have your own 8mm movie of John Wayne.
That's right.
Who needs it?
They have several different little hand-operated projectors and this is the motorized one. Then they have the hand-operated ones down below.
Yeah, but
which would
tedious.
Be a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah, that gets tedious. I don't want to crank it. I don't want to crank it. Rock tumbler. Who doesn't want a rock tumbler? Every kid should own a rock tumbler.
Yeah. The semi-professional magic chest is on page 460. What's the semi-professional? I get paid sometimes.
Sometimes I get paid, other times I don't.
I get paid to do cheap kid toy tricks.
Now, here's what's cool. So, what's really interesting is on page 470, we start getting into the board games. And it's so fun to see what board games they had back in 1968 and the ones we still have today. The board games
the ones that survived. This one I thought was cool because this one has probably the most sci-fi, occult, and weird type board game. Like, they have a Ouija board on here.
$4 for the Ouija board.
$3.59 for a Ouija board. They have a charades party game with a new twist. I don't know what that would be. I like Kabbalah. It looks creepy and cool. It's a big eyeball.
There's the Green Ghost, which looks pretty awesome. You have a
Yeah.
battleship.
Mind over matter. The power of thought transference. It's an ESP game.
Oh, here's a good one. It's the Game of Love. Twist and turn, but don't fall down as you try to spell love. A great party game can be played in stocking feet. Colorful vinyl.
Isn't this like the third Twister incarnation we've seen just in this catalog? That's not the Twisters survived all these years, and these have kind of fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, it's like another. Yeah, there's like the Twister with like animals on it. Monopoly's in here. Deluxe Monopoly with tray. You actually get a tray with this one.
Oh, yeah, that's a nicer one than the ones they put out now.
Oh, yeah.
The plastic banker's tray.
I think it's funny. I saw Monopoly Gamer at Walmart, and I'm like, oh, Monopoly Gamer. But the only game on there, the only game is Super Mario. I'm like, so why don't you just call it Super Mario Monopoly? It's not Gamer because all the pieces are Mario, and all the pieces on the board are Mario. It's not Gamer, it's Mario. Call it Mario.
They have like these classic games, of course, like chess and Parcheesi and stuff's going to be around forever.
Those are going to be there.
Squaresville, I've never heard of. I've never heard of Squaresville. And Electric Fascination is, how many kids didn't use that to shock the shit out of their brother and sister?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. You either had that or a wood burning kit. Scrabble.
Soldering iron too.
Yeah, Scrabble is here. We still have Scrabble today.
Mystery Date. Mystery Date was fairly popular for a good while.
We need to play Mystery Date. I want to go out with the hot guy in school.
Yeah. Trevor.
Yeah. Trevor's so dreamy. He's wearing, and at night he wears that smoking jacket. You know.
Like the ones we saw on page 200.
Yeah. The Game of Life.
Grab a loop. I've never heard. What's grab a loop?
You grab a loop. Attach belts with loops. Object of game is to grab as many loops of the right color from other participants. It's a big game of grab ass.
It looks that way. RSVP is a crossword game that's, I imagine, is like Scrabble.
Yeah.
That's kind of fallen away. But Scrabble, they have Scrabble, 2 different versions of Scrabble, maybe three different versions.
Yeah. The Game of Life, you're now married with kids and have a mortgage, Chief.
Yeah, Life's still around. Risk is still around.
That's a nice looking Risk board.
Now we get the Snakes Alive. This is the one that I liked as well.
Oh, yeah, the snake pops out of the basket.
Yeah, you get to look at the snake charming game.
Oh,
Avalanche.
Will you get a ruby or a baby snake? To find out, put your finger in the snake's basket, but watch out, it jumps up. The snake's alive. So you got to put your finger in the hole and hope the snake doesn't pop out.
I like the voodoo.
Oh, yeah.
Voodoo with a witch doctor voodoo doll.
Put the mysterious witch doctor in his hut, and you're ready to play. Take turns sticking plastic pins into the voodoo doll. If the witch doctor springs out, you're eliminated. The last player to be left after all the others have brought out the witch doctor is the winner. You have to it's literally a game. You stick pins in a voodoo doll. And it's right next to Kerplunk.
Yeah, Kerplunk is still around today. It's a fairly popular game. Clean Sweep, I kind of remember Clean Sweep a little.
Here's your game, Chief. Perquacky.
Perquacky. Is that the other one that's like kind of like Scrabble?
That's
or
like
kind of like
the Boggle type. It's like
Boggle
without
Boggle.
the Boggle thing. Without the.
Yeah, okay, I found it. The Bible game.
Yeah, Chief and I were playing the Ten Commandments Bible game.
I could win that game. I think I could win it.
I've played Bible Adventures on the NES. Sorry.
The bingo is still around. Aggravation is. You don't see Aggravation around too much anymore, but it was around in the 80s. Like when I was a kid, I remember Aggravation was still a fairly popular game.
You had
Sorry.
Sorry was still big.
Dominoes, chess, those are always going to be. Chinese checkers always going to be around.
Tip It, which that's kind of like those balancing games, which we still have today. They're just a little bit bigger and more extravagant these days.
Knock the clock.
Here we go. Animal Twister, where you put your hands and feet on the animals, and it's right next to Pig in Garden.
The Bee Bopper.
Beeby Bopper, Beeby Bopper.
See, there's like that. That's an actual Twister brand game, but
Yeah.
they don't produce that one anymore. They just have the standard Twister.
The Getaway Chase game, which is it's a game, but it has electronic cars on a track, and you're a mobster trying to get away from the cops. Yeah.
Pig in the garden.
Yeah. Oh, here's the one here, Chief. The Great Escape, where you get handcuffed to the board game. You are handcuffed to the corners of the board game.
This must have been an era of a lot of experimentation with board games.
Must have been.
Because we're seeing a lot of weird variety of board games, like the Snakes Alive and the Kabbalah, and like a lot of interactive type with the board type games, like the weird little story type games like Great Escape or whatever.
Yeah.
They had the air combat game. The Last Straw, Camel.
King of the Hill, race marbles up a hill and reach the top to get the crown. Don't Spill the Beans is still around. That's still a game that's around.
Yeah,
Don't Spill the Beans.
That's around. Hide and Seek, Huff and Puff. See, I've never heard of those. You got your basic 6-card games, old kind of games like that.
Old Maid, Hearts, Crazy Eights, things like that. Those things that are timeless. You got the Popeye balloon or Popeye ball toss, and you got Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Those are still around.
I like Bash, too. I like the Bash one where it's like, you can bash the funny man with the hammer. That's the instructions. This game teaches you to bash old people with hammers.
You got Operation is around in 1968, and here's one. It's called Time Bomb. You throw a time bomb it's basically a game of hot potato. It's hot potato, but with a bomb.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of around in the early 80s, I think, through the 70s. I think that was a game that stayed around for a little while.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Well, here's the thing that I've noticed. Like, look at Kaboom there. You see how that's like the little plastic set is made, and then you got like Hide and Seek and Huff and Puff. Like all of these, and like The Great Escape. Like all of these games are these really weird, like stylistic, like the Kaboom pump. It looks like very Dr. Seussy almost, like weird, like stylized air pump machinery looking thing. And that's kind of the same way with the Kabbalah and the green. It's like it seems like during this era, the board game industry was really trying some new shit.
Oh, definitely. On page 493, if you're still following along with us, this is where we get into some good stuff. There's actually the Batboat, the Batmobile, James Bond's Aston Martin car, the Black Beauty from the Green Hornet, and they all come with little action figures.
Yeah, this is really like a precursor to like your 3.25-inch G.I. Joe type figures, Star Wars figures. I didn't even realize in '68 they had action figures this size and vehicles like this. I thought this would be too early for something like that, but apparently '68. Well, the reason, like I've said already, probably a couple times in this episode, the reason I wanted to go to this because after looking at the catalogs before it and then after it seemed like this '68 one was like something special about it. Like this is the year that things started getting weird in the toy industry. Yeah. You started getting action figures. You started getting weird board games. You started getting more imagination type stuff rather than like sports equipment or your standard, Johnny gets a football and Susie gets a doll kind of Christmas imagery. You're starting to see weird shit like this Solido die-cast metal spring suspension car is very transformery.
It really is.
It all bends apart, and you can move all the different parts and stuff. It's like definitely that technology to make a toy like that led to Transformers being able to be made. You can tell.
And it leads to the collecting of all the different characters in like a set. Like on page 503, this is something we did not know that even existed. The Bonanza set. It's a set of the Bonanza action figures, and they come with the horses, and there's the stage coach.
Yeah, and they do have posability too. They look like they are articulated to a degree.
Yeah.
Who we really need to talk to, and this one even looks like that one has elbow joints.
Yeah, we need to talk to Rob Bruce.
Yeah, I was gonna say next time we do WIshbook around Christmas, we got to see if we can get Rob on to talk about some of these, Because I have a lot of questions about how rare something like a Bonanza set is. Like, I have no idea, but I'm sure Rob knows everything about it. He probably knows every figure in the line.
He probably has it.
Yeah, he probably does. He probably has it somewhere. So, I would love to get Rob on here to talk about this the next time we do Wish Books. We'll try to schedule that because you'll get a lot more information out of Rob than us just bullshitting about this stuff that we don't know a lot about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in here. There's a set that they say is Batman. And it says it comes with 6 vicious villains. Now,
this thing looks fucking amazing, by the way, and it's only $5.
It's only $5, but the only true Batman villain you get is Joker. The rest you get Thunderbolt, Keyman, Brainstorm, Mouseman, and Kaltor, and then you get the Joker. So the Joker's really the only one that's actually a Batman villain.
I'm wondering what that complete set in box, even not in box, if it's just complete, I wonder what that goes for now. It's got to be a lot.
These are things that probably even diehard nerd toy collectors have never seen.
Yeah, well, some of these had to be short run. Back in '68, that something like this, I don't think they were mass producing this on the level of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or G.I. Joe or something like that when that market took off. This was something new, really, for this time. You got to think that I imagine this is based on the Batman '66 TV series, since this is '68, and I imagine they based the look of it because the Batmobile is the '66 Batmobile.
Yeah, so is the Batplane. Yeah.
So this is definitely around that era, but I've never heard of this set. I've never seen it anywhere. And I said before, me and you have been to enough conventions and toy shows and shit like that to have at least seen it or heard of it somewhere. I've never heard of this thing.
I never have. I've never heard of the King Kong Jungle set.
That one's even more impressive. I didn't know they made King Kong toys like that.
Deluxe farm sets. These things are so intricate. It's much more intricate than what kids get today. You go out there and you buy the Ninja Turtle sewer playset today, but that thing will break so easily because of it's such flimsy plastic and everything.
Well, look at the Kong. The Kong is articulated. Even at the wrist, he's got articulated arms, neck, wrists, legs. These figures, some of them are just little vinyl figures that don't move, but I'm shocked that there's any articulation in these. And there's pretty impressive articulation in those Bonanza figures.
Yeah. And in later pages, there's the bendy, Gumby, Pokey, Bozo the Clown. There's so much stuff in these Wish books, and we wish we could have more time to go through it, because we haven't even got to Viewmasters, and everybody had a Viewmaster. Viewmaster is timeless. They still have Viewmaster. It's still around. You can still buy Viewmaster stuff.
You got on 507 the Standard Twister. We've gone through 3 or 4 other versions of Twister. Standard Twister is on page 507.
Yeah. And this book is 600 pages. There's still more pianos and, rocking chairs and cooking, little toy cook sets that are so much more intricate than the kitchen sets you can buy today.
These race car tracks are pretty phenomenal too. I'm looking at the race car tracks today. And, this is a way bigger toy. The toy section dwindled and got smaller over the years. Because this is a huge toy section in this one.
Oh, yeah.
The whole back end of the book from 400 on is the whole toy section.
Even real, junior Singer sewing machines for kids.
Well, that's the thing. The stuff used to be higher quality, I think, and it was a lot cheaper. These old trains, these old model, or these old train sets. These things were all the track is all die-cast metal. The trains themselves are die-cast metal. They're heavy. They feel weighty and worth the money.
Yeah.
And this whole train set is $22.59.
On page 574, you can buy your own Annabelle doll.
You get possessed and everything.
Possessed and everything. You can get Annabelle right there. And Annabelle she only costs $2 or something. Let me see here.
I gotta zoom in on that. I can't really see it.
Yeah, it depends. If you want the 15-inch Annabelle doll, that's $297. But if you want the 20-inch Annabelle, that's $497. Of course, that's Raggedy Ann, but that's what the Annabelle doll really was a possessed Raggedy Ann doll.
Only $2 more for an extra 5 inches of doll.
Possessed doll.
I say get the big one.
Get the big demonic doll. I mean, these are all dolls here. Christina dolls, Mattel's Baby Step dolls.
Dennis the Menace dolls and his dog Ruff.
His dog Ruff. Heidi, only Sears has a Heidi that grows up. You have a doll that grows up right before your eyes. Trolls. They have trolls. Not the stupid singy movie ones. They have real trolls in here on page 585. This is all stuff.
This doll section is huge too. Huge. All these dolls are.
And then you get to Barbie. You get to the big Barbie section around page 588. We're almost to the end of the book.
I didn't know that I didn't know the trolls had like a play set. I thought they were just little dime store toys. I didn't know that had like an actual the Shanty Shack.
Yeah, and Barbie here. I mean, there's talking Barbie. There's lace and velveteen Barbie, and that skirt is way too short for Barbie. There's nothing to
the petal people, the flower fairy people.
There is just so much stuff in these books, and you can get a $5 discount. There's a $5 discount coupon. The cartoon of Ruff is prominently displayed. This cartoon of Ruff is prominently displayed on one of the pages of this catalog. Find it. Tell us which page it appears, and you're eligible for this big reward: $5 discount.
Oh.
$5.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I found it. Here we go. Dennis the Menace and his dog Ruff.
Mm-hmm.
This cartoon of Ruff is probably displayed. Okay, that's the one you just read. Oh, I'm in the middle of the book or something. I've hit index starts on page 277. Oh, I'm at the end of the book.
Yes, we are at the end of the book. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for, coming down this road of 1968 with us. Before we get into this week's quick DC Comics reviews, we do want to let you all know that we have a special gift for all of you. December 15th, mark your calendars now, December 15th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the first time ever, one night only, as of right now, one night only, the Nerd Rage Renegades are going live. That's right, we are going live. We are going to be live on YouTube. You'll be able to watch us do a live recording of the show, a live recording where you, the fans, will drive the episode. There will be a chat function on the YouTube. You can ask us the questions. What do you want to know? What's Chief's favorite film? You should know that already. We all know his favorite film, but in case, maybe what's his second favorite film?
Yeah, maybe.
Why do we talk about Sasquatch and Tommy Wiseau all the time? Why are we like the way we are? You ask us the questions.
What's wrong with us?
What the fuck is wrong with us? You ask the questions. We will answer them. So December 15th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have an event page up on our YouTube, on our Facebook page. That way you can get all the information. And we'll be promoting it on Twitter and all the other social media accounts that we have, and maybe Instagram if I can remember the password. So, let's hit that spoiler alert and let's talk a little bit about DC Comics this week.
Do it.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. The Renegades are about to spoil this week's DC Comics.
So this week, Chief, I got to read the Disney Holiday Special. Or the DC Holiday Special. Not the Disney Holiday Special.
Not the Disney one.
Not the Disney. DC one. The DC. Disney, I'm sure will have one, but I'm talking DC.
And from what I understand, it's like a mix-up bunch of different stories with bookended stories in it.
Bookended story with Constantine and Superman, written by Jeff Lemire, which begins and ends the book. Inside a myriad of stories with Batman, it has a story, The Flash, Wonder Woman, the Atomic Knights get one, Sergeant Rock gets one from Tom King, Swamp Thing gets one. I mean, it's just so many. Even Slade Wilson gets one.
Digging deep with that Sergeant Rock.
Digging deep. It's that one's not so much Christmassy, and it's very it hits you. That one will hit you hard when you read it. But as far as it's a very good holiday special. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody because it is a bunch of good stories. They're all different stories too. It's all different themes and different avenues that they go down in these stories. It's really, really well done. So I highly recommend. I mean, it's a big book. It's like 83 pages or something like that. It's a big book.
Yeah, that's like the old days, man. Like those old Batman specials they used to do.
Yeah.
Like 84 page spectaculars and stuff.
Yeah, it's a big book. And you read Batman, so Batman and Catwoman have gotten they're back from Kandahar.
Yeah, and they're apparently it opens up. This one opens up with Superman and Lois, with Superman complaining, not kind of passive aggressively complaining that Bruce hasn't called him to tell him he's getting married, even though they know he thinks Bruce should call him and tell him, and he hasn't done it. And it goes back and forth between Lois and Clark and Catwoman and Batman. And Lois is investigating some kind of story, and Mr. Axe or something, I don't know, some kind of killer or so, I don't know. She's investigating this guy, and Batman happens to be investigating the same guy from two different places. It starts out, and it's back and forth between Lois and Clark and Batman and Catwoman about, well, and Batman's saying, well, I'm not going to call. Why should I call? And Catwoman's telling him, well, because he's your friend. Aren't you guys friends? And Batman, the funny thing is the thing where he's like, well, Gordon's my friend, my best friend. And she's like, he doesn't even know your real name. and he's like, okay, well then Alfred is my best friend. And she's like, Alfred's on your payroll. He can't be your best friend. And so she's trying to tell him, look, Clark's your friend. You should call him and tell him what's going on. And then on the other side, you got Clark saying, well, he's marrying a supervillain. We can't go around them and reveal my identity to a supervillain. And so there's that going on. And it eventually culminates as they're both pairs are arguing across Gotham and Metropolis. They both end up in the same building, coming out of two different elevators on the same floor, and just run into each other. And Superman and Batman don't know what to say to each other, and Lois Lane finally introduces herself to Catwoman. So then they go in and they take care of business on what they came there to do. And Batman and Superman do their badass thing. And then when it's all said and done, they're like, so you want to go get some food? like Clark says, so you guys want to go eat? So I really love Tom King's Batman. I can't say enough good things about it. I mean, I love it every bit as much as Snyder's Batman, I think. And I find his, not to take away from Scott Snyder's work, because it's brilliant. He wrote 4 or 5 of the best arcs ever. But Tom King's Batman is, I don't know, he's more introspective, and he's more real to me. I don't know. I really like Tom King's Batman a lot. But I don't know if you read that one or not.
Yeah, I did. It's really good, and I do love Tom King's Batman. I think this has been I think Batman has been one of the most steady books from New 52 on. It's just so steady and so good. Yeah.
I agree, and I think that what the cool thing, the way I kind of think of it is like, Tom King's Batman is different. The way he writes it is different, but it still feels like the same character from the Scott Snyder arcs. Like, it doesn't feel like a completely different guy. It's like they're looking at the same guy from a different angle rather than it being a completely different Batman.
Well, that's because you are Batman, I am Robin.
That's right. Yeah. That's a great one too. That great conversation with Damian and Dick Grayson is great. Like, I think between Snyder and Tom King, they've really fleshed out the Bat family, because I don't think that those characters were as fleshed out and were as within the confines of the Batman book, the way the characters surround Batman in his own book. They've ever been as fleshed out and as more like real people as they are under Snyder and Tom King. I think he's given them all more individual personalities, and given them, and Snyder too, and given them all more individual personalities and more individual problems that they have with Bruce. Right. Like they all don't have the same problems with Bruce. Like some of them want to be more like Bruce. Some of them don't want to be like Bruce at all. So it's like you see they're more individual characters than just lumped together as the crazy Bat family.
Yeah. So did you also read Justice League of America?
Yes, I did read Justice League, and I don't know why people complain about that book. Some people don't like it, and I think the reason they don't like it is because there's a lot of action in it, and there's not a whole lot of like story development. And I think that maybe some people don't. Sometimes you just want a kick-ass action book, I think.
Yeah.
And I like the way this Justice League kind of bounces around. It tells big epic stories, and it kind of bounces around to the different characters and what they're doing. Like it'll show what Batman's doing, how his part of it, and Superman's part of it, and Flash's part of it. And I like the way they do that with this. This one had to do with what they think is an alien invasion, what they think is another alien invasion. They just put one down like a few arcs ago or an arc ago. But they think it's another alien invasion. Turns out Simon Baz eventually gets through to these big alien armada ships that are coming through. And at the end of it, you come to find out that it's a tourist ship of aliens that are touring the galaxy, and everybody was panicking, and Simon Baz somehow managed to figure out the translation in his ring, and so everything was okay. At the end of the day, Flash stopped the tsunami.
Oh, so let me correct though. This is Justice League because there's another book, Justice League of America.
Justice League, not JLA. Okay. JLA's pretty good too. I like that one too because they were doing. It didn't come out this month, but for the last few months they've been doing. It's been a Ray Palmer focused story in like the microverse, and it was really. I thought it was just a really good. Besides the fact that it's superheroes in it, it was just a really good science fiction story about the microverse and shrinking and all that cool shit with Ray Palmer. But JLA's a different book. But Justice League, I like that book a lot. I actually like both of them, I'll say. But this month, once again, alien invasion. Well, not really. It turned out it wasn't an alien invasion, but still very good. I like the way they move it around. I like the way it moves. Not a lot of. I mean, they go through these arcs pretty quick, like Justice League, because they got so many characters. I guess they run through these arcs pretty fast. But I dig it, man, and I don't mind it. I don't mind a quick moving arc because there's so many out there that are 12 issues long. Give me 2-3 issues, I'm fine. I'm good with an arc like that size. And the other one that I read was Superman, which kind of wrapped up it's not really wrapped up, but the main gist of it got wrapped up with the Apocalypse arc that they're doing. And it's basically what happened is Darkseid is dead, as everybody knows. Well, he's not dead. He's like a teenager or something now. he's regenerating somewhere. But he was strapped to Batman's chest when they went to the Dark Multiverse. But we don't know exactly what's going on with Darkseid. But the Apocalypse is left leaderless. And all of the different factions from like the slave class, Granny Goodness and the Female Furies to Calabac are all battling for control of Apocalypse. And Superman is thought to be in Apocalypse lore. Superman is thought to be like their messiah that's going to come and finally straighten out Apocalypse and make it a place to live for people. And what happens is Luthor had gotten there, and because he's now wearing the power suit with the S on it, they believed him to be the Superman, the savior that they were waiting for, and they find out he's a false prophet, and they beam Superman and his family to Apocalypse, and so he stops him from killing Luthor, and sets about stopping the fighting on Apocalypse. So he kind of takes the throne. He accepts the mantle of like savior of Apocalypse, but he doesn't plan on staying there. By the time everything gets settled down, he kind of says to them, create your own governments and your own way of life. And if you need me, when there's something important and something you can't solve, then call me. And they have a boom tube now that specifically goes right to Apocalypse for Superman in case he's needed there. So he's kind of taken on now. He's not only the protector of Earth and his adopted world, he's also like the savior and protector of Apocalypse now. They weren't too happy with Luthor for doing that. So they sent everybody back, Luthor included. And Superman kind of has it out with Lex Luthor on the roof of LexCorp at the end. And I believe Luthor is going back to his villainous ways because he tore the S off his chest. They got in a big argument about it, and Luthor tore the S off the suit and threw it down. So he's kind of pissed at Clark right now because up till now Superman had said, well, things are different in this universe. I'm kind of new to this. Everything's different. The timeline has changed. Maybe this Luthor is on the up and up. So he's been giving Luthor a chance. And so Metropolis has kind of had two Supermen for like the last, few arcs of Superman. But Luthor is now, they've kind of run head to head on this apocalypse thing, and Superman's pissed at him, and Luthor is pissed enough to rip the ass off of his super suit. So we'll have to see where that goes. But I thought the arc was really good. I thought the covers to this arc were kind of cool because they resembled more Kirby. They had like a lot of Kirby crackle on them and like a lot of like shadow and stuff like Kirby would draw because it was referencing all of his fourth world characters. And I just thought the covers were cool. The arc was cool. I love anything where Superman can fight either Darkseid or Kalibak because he doesn't have to hold back in those fights. He can just be 100% badass Kryptonian. When he's fighting regular Earth villains or anything else, he's got to hold back. I like full-powered Superman. So it was good for that. And I just dig anything with Apocalypse. Had Granny Goodness in the Female Furies. Lois Lane actually became a Female Fury, which was pretty cool. Jonathan Kent riding one of those giant wolves of Apocalypse, the big armored wolves. It was all in all, it was really good. I really dig Superman with it. Since Rebirth, Superman has been spot on, I gotta say. And I'm hoping with Bendis coming over to DC, and Snyder was talking the other day about how there's big things coming after Metal, and how they're gonna try to respect the old legacy and bring in new stuff, and how he was excited for what was coming up. I tend to trust Snyder. I'm thinking he probably knows what he's talking about, but I'm still a little nervous with Bendis coming over. So I'm just hoping they leave Batman and Superman relatively alone, because right now with Tom King and the way Superman is going, I don't want that to be altered, the writing teams and the art teams, because I think it's great. I think everything at DC is great right now, man. I don't have any complaints.
One of the other ones I checked out this week real quick was Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica. I didn't see that one. A partnership with Archie Comics. So the gist of it is Harley and Ivy run afoul of Zatanna, and they get zapped, and their consciousness take over the bodies of Betty and Veronica in the Archie Comics.
It's not a physical manifestation of the heroes in the Archie world. They were just sent there.
Yeah, they're
in the different bodies.
So their consciousnesses are in the bodies of Betty and Veronica, and they see it as Harley wants to find Zatanna right away and get zapped back to her own body. But
okay, so does this mean that the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy now reside in they've now rubbed elbows in the same universe as the Punisher?
Yeah, pretty much.
So now they exist in the Archie universe too.
Yeah. So, but Poison Ivy sees it as a good thing because Veronica's dad, Mr. Lodge, wants to basically bulldoze and then develop on top of a swamp, and Ivy's not going to have any of that, deforestation. So that's the gist of this one. Is you've got kind of a body swap, a body swap type of storyline going on there. But there's so many more from DC this week. Black Lightning, Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 is out. I sadly did not get to that one in time for a review, but I'm definitely going to be checking that one out.
Yeah, I should have that in my box at the shop, so I'll get to that eventually.
Yep. But we want to thank you for joining us on our Holiday Wishbook show. Crystal will tell you everywhere we are on any given week.
The Nerd Rage Renegades are on the air every Wednesday on Podbean, Stitcher, Player FM, iTunes, Google Play, and every Thursday on GamingRebellion.com, Filling the Void Podcast Network, and now iHeartRadio.
And then, of course, you can follow Chief at SpaceChief75, me at the Nerd Rage Renegades Twitter, on Facebook at NRR Truth Radio. That's facebook.com/NRR Truth Radio. And, of course, next week we will be back with Miss Olive Glass. She'll be joining us. And then we are going to be going live.
Yeah. We'll probably, I think we'll be a little nervous for that. I might get a little nervous for that.
I think
we haven't done a live. We've done a couple live things, like once or twice in the past, experimented around with this, but this will be the first time we're really doing it.
I think we'll be fine. And of course, we are on the road to episode 175. And you know what happens every 25 episodes, Chief?
Our souls are ripped asunder by the great Cool Beer, who will rise in the east.
So we are counting down to that. So we want to thank you all for joining us. Happy holidays, and we'll see you back here next week.
Good night, everybody.
Fuck you, Craig.
You weak.
Nerd Rage Renegades.